Hi Facebook and YouTubers, it's me, Lonnie, with another video you can like and share. I am Lonnie Hadden on Facebook and YouTube, and I have a very different message for you today. So this is more of a health message. So do you know anybody that is diabetic, or are you diabetic, and are you taking metformin or have been taking metformin and have been having issues with your liver, your kidney, or dementia, or maybe thin nails, maybe thin hair, or problems with your hair, skin, and nails, any of these different issues, allergies and things like that. Well, there may be a problem with some of the medicines that you're taking. So I recently discovered that metformin is a bad drug for me as a diabetic. So I just want to share some of my experiences with you, and also some information that I got from Dr. Miller. His video is on YouTube, and his organization is called Meal Pound Integrative Health and Wellness. And you can reach him at his link, his website at www.diabetesreverseformula.com. Now, he didn't say everything in this video, but some of this information regarding how metformin affects the liver and its ability to secrete glucose, and it affects basically the pancreas, and so and it causes the pancreas to release insulin. However, it just messes with the digestive system overall. So I'm going to go over these things, what I've basically discussed just now, and how my diet, the things that I've done that has made dieting not a diet anymore, but actually a lifestyle that I can live. And I've lost weight, like 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And you can look at my previous picture. And you can see that my face is a lot smaller, and my stomach has gone down, not tremendously yet, because that's usually the last thing to go, but I can see it forming differently. The top part of my stomach is getting smaller, and it's kind of falling to the bottom. And then I'm working out. Great guy by the name of Terrence Dupree was helping me with some training, so it's helping me to build muscle, which burns fat and increases your metabolism. So without further ado, let me go into this. Just let me say that I am not a doctor, and I advise you to actually seek a functional medicine doctor if you don't like taking like regular prescribed medicines, or your prescribed medicines are just making you sicker, or they're not doing anything for you, just taking them to be taking them. So a functional medicine doctor can help you with issues that you're having, because a lot of times when we take medicine, it has side effects, and these pharmacies and medical companies, they're making money off of these medicines and everybody being sick, and they continue to make the money, and then they won't tell you the natural medicines you can take, or the natural herbs that you can take, and vitamins to actually fix the diseases and things that you may encounter in your body, and just by eating right and things like that. They'll tell you to follow a diet, eat 3 times a day, and have vegetables, meat, and everything, and some half carbs, or half of your plate has to be vegetables, and then the upper quarter has to be meat or bottom, whichever one you want, and then the other part is carbs or starch or whatever. That's basically what they give you when you're diabetic. They say eat this, and it's like really a lot of food. And everybody is made differently. I'm not made like the next person, and I discovered that as I've gotten older, or after I've eaten or taken certain medicines, my body cannot digest meat and other foods like it used to when I was a teenager, when I was on the tennis team and running all the time and just walking around the neighborhood and had so much energy. My body, after sitting at a desk all day, I cannot digest it like I used to, and part of that is due to the metformin. Like, you don't even realize, like, after I watched this video, it was so mind-blowing, you know. And so I'll just go into what Dr. Miller spoke about in the video a little bit and explain to you how metformin is bad, and then I'll tell you exactly what happened to me and what my experience was, and how it helped my blood sugars, you know, getting off of the metformin, and how just my body improved and my health and how much more energy I have. So let's go right into basically what Dr. Miller was saying, is that metformin is basically a medicine that is used to reduce your blood sugar. Okay, so first you must know the definition, and that's basically what metformin is used for, and it's widely used by diabetics. I mean, it's the main thing that when you go to the doctor, the first thing they put you on is metformin. And then some people are on pills, and then eventually they will take insulin. Now, some people are type 1 diabetics, some are type 2. Type 1, they tend to say that this is something that's hereditary. You're born with diabetes. And then type 2 is something that you basically acquired it because you had the virus in your body, or a virus in your body that was in your genetics, you know, diabetic disease. And based on how you ate and how you created acid in your body, toxins in your body, you develop diabetes. You know, some toxins in your body affected your your pancreas, and contaminate your body and brought about the diabetes. And so basically, I always say, you know, that as they say type 2 diabetes, you can get rid of your diabetes, but they say type 1, you can never get rid of your diabetes. But God has the main say so, you know, because I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and I got a new psychiatrist after 14 years of being diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he was like, I'm sorry, you're misdiagnosed. I was saying to the doctor every visit, hey, I'm not schizophrenic. This is a mistake. You know, you're just basing this off of a couple circumstances, you know, that you think match up. I don't have all the symptoms, and, you know, this is because of this, and they weren't listening to me. Finally, I got a psychiatrist who was like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with you, you know, and clearly I could see that, you know. But anyways, so what I'm saying is that miracles happen every day, and sometimes doctors may think that you can't get rid of the disease because history shows that, you know, if you're diabetic by age 6 or 8 or whatever, oh, you're type 1, you were probably born with it. You know, when in actuality, if you were an overweight 6 or 8 years old, you probably acquired it from, you know, your system being contaminated with a lot of fast food that you may have been fed as a little child, and you know, it contaminates your body. Now you think you're type 1. But you know, there's always hope. So, you know, you understand that, you know, if you can't get rid of kidney disease, diabetes, liver disease, or cancer, you know, hey, you can't get rid of it, but that doesn't mean you give up the fight. You fight, you look on the internet, you look on YouTube, and find natural ways of getting rid of the disease, because God gave us everything that we needed for our bodies. And I'll just say this, you know, first, actually, I'm going to go into the doctor, what he said in a second, but I want to kind of jump to this is where God is leading to me. And I'm not saying you have to be a certain religion. This is not based on a, you know, just a particular religion or anything, but I'm going to read something from the Bible. But clearly, if you are Muslim, if you are Catholic, or whatever religion you are, you know, I have no problem with that. I am Christian. You know, I believe in Jesus Christ. I follow the Bible, the Holy Bible, King James Version. And this verse is coming from there. But some of your documents or your books may line up with this. I'm not sure because I don't read those other books. But what it says in the Bible in Genesis 1:29, God said when he made the earth, he said to Adam and Eve, he said, I have given you every herb bearing seed and every tree which has fruit yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So I will basically go over how being on a plant-based diet has actually helped me get rid of some of the acid and toxins in my body and release energy and things like that, because I purely believe that herbs and things, will cure our bodies if we get vitamins and supplements from the earth that God put here for us. Like he just said, he said that will be for meat, which means we don't need to go eat a chicken. For instance, like, could you eat a chicken if you didn't have a knife and a fork to kill it with, or to cook it? If you didn't have fire to cook it, could you get rid of all the the bacteria? And then you might wonder why you get salmonella and bacteria infections in your stomach, and why the meat actually rots in your stomach and creates bacteria. It gets stuck in there and it's harder to digest. And then you have digestion problems and wonder why you have a lot of waste around your belly, or you don't have energy, because your body has to work so hard to break that down. And actually, metformin messes with your digestive system, so it's hard to break down the food after a while. And then some people end up getting kidney disease. For instance, what Dr. Miller was saying, he said metformin is also called glucophage. So either you're taking glucophage, or they call it metformin. Basically, the metformin increases the insulin in your pancreas. And then that sends the adrenal glands to there's some adrenal glands on top of your kidneys that secrete cortisol, and then that talks to the liver and tells it to secrete glucose. But the metformin stops the liver from secreting glucose. So what Dr. Miller is trying to figure out is that, okay, if the liver is secreting glucose, and we don't want that, because the glucose or sugar eats at your body and eats up your organs, and that's why diabetics, organs fail, or have problems with organs and things like that, or problems, whatever, kidney problems, or they say liver and kidney. But if in fact that's a problem with secreting the glucose, he says that it's probably not a good idea to mess with the liver, because that's part of your digestive system. If your liver needs to secrete glucose, then it needs to secrete that. But how do we stop the adrenal gland from then, secreting too much cortisol to the liver naturally? And because what happens is, it will not allow the metformin. It has, like, basically you have enterocytes that absorb the carbs in your body. The enterocytes absorb the carbs, and the metformin basically stops the enterocytes from pulling nutrients from your body, mostly the carbs. But when you mess with that, you're messing up your digestive system, is what he's saying. And then a lot of people that start on metformin will have diarrhea. So you're throwing the digestive system off. And basically, when you want to have a healthy body, you need to be able to get rid of your waste. Like, if you're on a plant-based diet, I almost guarantee you 90% of the time, within 30 minutes to an hour, you'll probably go to the bathroom and get rid of waste. Now, get rid of that waste is a good thing, and it's not diarrhea-like if you're eating enough fiber. So you have to try not to take in too many carbs. But when you're on a plant-based diet, you don't really have to count calories. That's the beauty of it. It's a lifestyle change, and it's very tasty. Like, actually eating plant-based diet, you can make shakes. Sometimes in the morning I'll make a shake and I'll put flaxseed or chia seed in it, ginger, and ginger is really good. Ginger, water, and lemon. You can boil that, like boil a pot of water and then put the ginger, 1 inch of ginger sliced up and peeled, and a lemon in the water. After it's done boiling, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then cool it, put it in the refrigerator and drink it. And it actually has benefits for, the ginger helps your memory. So people that may have dementia, and dementia is basically diabetes of the brain, the ginger will help that, as well as, you know, it will help. I believe it helped my sugar a little bit because I drank it the night before I went to bed. I also took my shot, but I took it and I was eating a plant-based diet, and my sugars were lower than they have ever been. So I think it has some benefits, but I haven't tested it over a long period of time. So I'm not going to say that go get ginger and it's going to help your diabetes, but many people from Africa, I have a friend from Africa, and I've talked to a couple people from Africa, and they do not, or they do eat cinnamon. So when I make my shake in the morning, I could do like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of cinnamon and put it in my shake, and then I put in maybe an inch of ginger and a half cup of oatmeal and 2 handfuls of kale, handful of spinach, and berries and stuff. I get like a bag of frozen berries from the Dollar Tree for $1, and I put flaxseed in, 3 tablespoons of flaxseed, and if I've got chia seeds, I'll put it in there, and maybe something for sweetening, I put like some pineapple in there. So blend it all up. You've got fruits and vegetables for breakfast, and it's going to keep you full for a couple hours, maybe 3 to 4 hours, and it's very delicious, you know, and you acquire a taste for it, and it's wonderful, has wonderful qualities that can help you. Cinnamon and plantains, which are kind of like bananas, and Africans will tell you that they will help with your diabetes. And they say that diabetes, you know, is mostly in black people, and it's not just genetic, because, you know, Africans really don't have diabetes like that because they eat different diets. I solely, wholly, and truly believe that the foods that we eat in America as black people, that maybe we've learned over time to eat the bad parts of the pig, and I'm not going to get political, but the bad parts of the pig, or we've, you know, put lard in our food, which creates blood pressure problems. And actually, with my experience with plant-based diet, my sodium went way down. I went to the doctor today, my sodium dropped. Well, I was like, I've never had low sodium. Are you kidding me? And so my sodium is like low. Low. Like, it's usually high, like a high blood pressure. They're like, yeah, your blood pressure's good, sodium's low, cholesterol's good. I'm like, wow, you know, just all across the board better from being on a plant-based diet. And so let me just that's basically what Dr. Miller was saying, and a little bit about what I was saying. And so if you're having issues with taste issues, or if you're having dizziness, headaches, or if you feel sick after eating or taking your Metformin, or you're having muscle pain, nail and hair problems, difficulty breathing or asthma, fever, heart palpitations or allergies, because it be from the chemicals that Dr. Miller was saying, the chemicals that were in the Metformin, or lactate acidosis, which is basically when you create an acidic environment in your body. So the Metformin creates an acidic environment because your liver is not secreting glucose, it's not getting the glucose out of your body, so that's creating like an acidic environment. And so we need to be able to have our digestive system work correctly, because when you have an acidic environment, it creates bacteria and yeast and viruses. And you wonder why women get like yeast infections, or men have problems with hormones and things, because the Metformin can throw your hormones off. Diabetes can do it too, with if the pancreas is not breaking down the sugar and things like that in your body, and the sugar is attacking your body. That can also happen. But I fully and solely believe that Metformin is a bad drug for me as a diabetic. Okay, now I'm not saying that Metformin is just a bad drug for everyone. I don't want the company coming at me and saying it's a bad, I said their drug was bad or whatever. But for me, I'm saying that Metformin was not good for me, and this Dr. Miller is basically saying a similar thing. And he's basically saying that metformin is causing issues or has side effects, which you can clearly read on your side effects when you get your medication. You can read the side effects with metformin. And okay, so we're at 20 minutes on this video. I don't want to make it too long, so I'm going to try to take hopefully less than 5 minutes to wrap this video up, and hopefully it helps someone. If it doesn't help you, please, share this with someone else. Share it to your Facebook. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Right now, if you could like this video, if you like the information, right now hit the like button and then hit the bell next to subscribe so you can get notifications when I do videos. I actually do videos for relationships and life situations and health, mostly the relationships right now, on Facebook. I am live on Facebook on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. So send a friend request over there to Facebook, and also you can see my websites on there. I have a store online that's called for Kings and Queens Only. My viewers, I call them Kings and Queens Only because we carry ourselves like queens and kings, and we should only put healthy things in our body. We should not defile our temple. We should exercise and treat our bodies right, so then we request our body to get up and move for us, that it gets up and moves. When we're ready to get off the couch, we get up. We're not struggling and moving side to side trying to get up. It's boom, you get up, right? So anyhow, so definitely, if you like this video, please like and share. And also, if you want a consultation, please email me at LonnieHadden@outlook.com, or you can message me on Facebook, and I can set up an appointment with you for a low cost to give you a consultation on how to find the love of your life, and how to help your relationships or life issues. So now, without further ado, my experiences, and you saw how I did like this at the beginning of the video. You saw the picture, because sometimes I feel like Supergirl, because if you look, oh my goodness, Lonnie, you're talking too much again. Stop. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Relatable to you guys, so you're don't fall asleep on a video and you like it and everything. So anyhow, without further ado, my sugars were 200 to 400 fasting in the morning back in 2000, I want to say 2016, okay? So my doctor sent me to an endocrinologist, which is a doctor that can regulate your sugar if it's too high. So I went to the doctor in 2016. My sugars, like I said, were up, and so they increased my insulin, which made me increase my weight. On top of that, I was on a very bad drug, which was a birth control shot, and it increased my weight. I gained 80 pounds in 1 year, 80 pounds. So you can see the previous picture of my face to this, 80 pounds. Right now I'm down, let's say about 15 pounds, okay, 15 pounds, and solely due to basically removing the metformin, the mental medicines, and being on a plant-based diet. And so what happens with, this is the cycle that happens when you take the insulin. So you take the insulin, then you gain weight, which means like your pancreas cannot fight through all of the fatty tissues and things and secrete insulin like it needs to. And so it has so much fat tissue to deliver insulin to that it just kind of doesn't work and breaks down. That's my ideology of it. And so the key that most doctors will tell you is that insulin, when you gain weight, you basically have to take more insulin because your body has more sugar in it, and it's an acidic environment, and so you have to take more insulin to break down the sugars. and you know, you become insulin resistant in my case, and then they increase my metformin. So instead of taking like 500 milligrams a day, I was taking 2,000. I was taking 1,000 in the morning, 1,000 at night, which was ridiculous. And I started in 2016 to get headaches from the metformin, and I got so sick that when I would try to take the metformin, my body would reject it. I would like vomit it out, and it wouldn't even accept it. It would just completely reject it. So I stopped taking the metformin. I didn't really care what the doctor said because I felt like I was on chemo. I felt like the medicine was attacking my body. I felt like it was like radiation almost. I was just getting so sick. I would have headaches and was just feeling really, really sick from it. So I stopped taking the metformin and I started taking something called alpha lipoic acid. And I was still taking my insulin, but my sugars dropped to between 130 and 200. So by this time, all right, I'm down to 130, the alpha lipoic acid, which is you can get from GNC. And, you know, it was, you know, I was taking the insulin before, but it still wasn't dropping from 400 to 130. You know, it was leveling out probably around 230, and it wouldn't go down into the hundreds until I took the alpha lipoic acid. And I read that on a website, and I went and got it, and it also talked about cinnamon, so I started taking cinnamon. But the alpha lipoic acid is what did it for me, okay? And so I got to the 130s, but in October of 2017, a couple months ago, all right, I started back on a plant-based diet, because I tried to do it before and I couldn't do it right because I didn't go out and get enough recipes and things like that, and you know, I just failed at it because I just didn't know how to eat. But the plant-based diet, I started getting different ideas and then learning how to cook with it just by asking people that were vegetarian, like what type of seasonings do they put together, you know, what type of things do they eat. And we just shared ideas, and I watched a couple videos and learned how to make veggie burgers, and life was happy. And it's actually fun to sit there and chop, you know, vegetables and stuff like that. It's just very interesting. And please make sure that you get all of, like, when you make beans and mushrooms, make sure you rinse them very good, okay? I'm not going to go into that lecture right now, but the plant-based diet, and then I drank 95% water. I know everybody's like, you know, drink half your weight in water. That's a little bit too much, like trying to think like I gotta make sure I drink half my weight in water. I basically, what I do is I just put water in my refrigerator. I have a gallon of water. It's not always filtered, and that might be bad. You know, I might get shunned for that. But we pretty much have good water in the Michigan area that I'm in, and in Romulus area, the water is pretty good. So I just get it out of my sink, and I'm not recommending that you do that. If you do filter water, whatever. But I started drinking that water more, and I would just, you know, make the water and drink it as much as I can. So whenever I'm drinking, I'm not drinking like pop anymore, because diet pop is so acidic. If you just think about, you know, you've seen the videos where the diet pop eats away acid on batteries and things like that. Just imagine what that's doing, going down your esophagus and then going down through your kidneys and all of that, and your intestines and things like that. Just imagine what damage it's doing to your body. So when people go on kidney dialysis, they tell them that you can't even drink dark pop. If you drink pop, it has to be a light, like a clear pop. And then, you know, cut the deck on that. You need to be drinking alkaline water, right? So, so what I do is just, I cut all that out. If I do have coffee, it's a cup of coffee once in the morning, and it's not every day. You can actually drink tea, and that should give you enough caffeine rather than to drink coffee. But so anyhow, after I did all this, I did the plant-based diet, exercise 3 days a week, and just try to stay active as I could. And now, like, when I took my sugar this morning, like after last night being on plant-based diet and drinking the ginger water I was talking to you about, I woke up this morning, and of course I still took my insulin as prescribed by the doctor, but I have been taking it before. I just wouldn't take it as often. But when I took the insulin, no metformin, plant-based diet, exercising 3 days a week, drinking about 95% water. I will have a little bit of juice or pie every now and then. Sodium level was low when I went to the doctor because I'm not putting all those seasonings and the Lawry's that has been carried down from generation to generation, you know, from grandma to mama, you know, to everyone that cooks meat with their Lawry's seasoning that's creating sodium, which creates blood pressure, which creates strokes, which runs in my family, and heart attacks. Got rid of it, and basically just drinking water, sodium low. Not sodium is level and like sodium low, and that's such a good place to be for me because high blood pressure and heart attacks run in my family. So hopefully my family can do the same thing that has so many benefits. But anyway, my sugar this morning was 64, the lowest it's ever been. My sugar has never been as low as 64. The lowest my sugar has ever gotten was like 80, maybe 89 or something, but 64 because I was on a plant-based diet. You know, I'm getting rid of the bad things in my body and then getting more active. My friend, my trainer, Terrence Dupree, God bless him, you know, he, you know, showed me the different exercises to get my body moving and made working out fun. I go to Planet Fitness, and I'm going to go tonight. And sometimes, you know, Planet Fitness is open 24 hours. So I will go to Planet Fitness at 10, 12 o'clock at night if I haven't got my workout in, and we'll go. Well, also, Bricks Fitness, he was saying that, you know, even if you can't get to the gym, you know, you should work out every day. And that's what Terrence Dupree was telling me, you know, you need to work out every day. And so I'm going to do that. But if I can't make it to the gym, and, you know, it's wintertime in Michigan and we don't like traveling in the snow. So what I do is basically have a workout tape so I can work out at home, or, you know, do some of the exercises and get some weights so I can do them at home. And squats you can do right in your living room. You know, just act like you're sitting on the couch and get up, you know, 25 times, 5 sets of 25, as Terrence would say. But I'll let you go to him to get the rest of the regimen. But now when I get up, my knees don't hurt as much. I can, you know, get up, I can squat, I can do dance videos. I also dance to, you know, make working out fun. So anyways, and my hypothesis, I have a hypothesis about how to fix the adrenaline problem. So if you've got, my thing is like, if you work out, you know, that will, because I figured out that when I was on a plant-based diet, I had more adrenaline. Now, I don't know if that's the same thing as an adrenal gland or whatever, but I had more adrenaline, I had more energy. So I needed to exercise to burn that energy, so I'm not running around with a lot of high energy, bopping around, you know, looking like I got, you know, ADD or something, like they can't sit down. And that's no pun at people with ADD. You know, I definitely understand that's something hard to control, but sometimes when you just, you know, are eating right, you have this extra energy. So you have to get rid of that energy in a healthy way by like working out, setting time aside to say, hey, I'm going to burn off this adrenaline, this energy, you know, get rid of it so that I can be calm throughout the day. And so, you know, if you decrease your calories and increase your workout, you're going to have less adrenaline and be more normalized. So that's what I think. Then that will stop. I think that would stop the secretion of cortisol, so much cortisol going to the liver, which would stop so much glucose from spilling out of the liver and causing a problem for the pancreas to break down, so the pancreas wouldn't have a problem breaking down all the glucose. So that's my hypothesis. And so I just hope that you increase your workout and decrease the meat you eat, because red meat can cause problems. And there was another website where they were talking about red meat getting stuck in your system, creating infections, which builds up and makes your body sick, and it creates lactic acid, which causes acid reflux, which makes the liver sick and sends acid to the pancreas. And this is also what I experienced, because when I was eating meat, I would have acid reflux. Right now, if I eat a plant-based diet and I eat meat the next day, I will notice I have acid reflux. That's why I can't go back to eating meat. Now, I could eat like a pepperoni or something like that, something small, like a little small pepperoni. That wouldn't affect me, or a couple bacon bits. But if I ate like a piece of chicken, I would have bad acid reflux. And so the meat just makes your body sick because you can't break that food down. And I solely believe that sometimes, like what some people, when we get older, our body kind of wants to act, well, most people, everybody pretty much, you know, when we get older, our body wants to go back to like an infant state again. So you know, your body gets a little bit weaker, you know, it's harder for you to walk and things like that. Your balance gets off, and, you know, your digestive system doesn't really work like it used to. So babies eat pureed vegetable foods, so you have to kind of go back to that state where, hey, sometimes you're eating shakes and pureed food, you know, and no meat, because babies, if they did have meat, it was crunched up in a baby jar, you know, pureed. So you know, our bodies just weren't meant to break down meat. You know, if you were, like I said, if you were going to eat chicken, you have to first kill the chicken. We're not made with claws and teeth that are just going to go and take a chicken and you can bite it without catching some bacteria and being deathly ill. So that tells me that we weren't meant to eat meat. You know, you have to burn all the bacteria off. You have to go through way too much. God said, eat of this land. You know, so also Juanita Bynum talks about that too, but I also talk about it because I think it's so important that we, you know, because I've been on this vegetarian diet journey. I was on it before, and then I started back doing it in 2017. I think around, I'm going to say August, I started back doing it again, July or August 2017. And so, and it's been beneficial for me. And then I got off it for a minute, and Juanita Bynum kind of reminded me on her 3 with Me on Facebook, you know, she was like, you know, go back to your vegetarian diet, you know, because I got off of it for a couple days, and we did a 48-hour fast, and I just cannot believe the miracles that came out of that 48-hour fast. I actually, you know, got an invitation to get paid for my Facebook show. So definitely fasting works, God works, and eating right, treating your body right works. So, you know, be careful of what you put in your body. Listen to your body, you know, listen to your doctor, but also listen to your body and what makes you feel good and what makes you feel sick. And definitely decrease your calories and increase your workout. And that's how you decrease the fat, you know, because you have to burn up the calories that you take in. It's all energy. Calorie is energy. So if you're eating increased calories, you're going to have to increase your energy just as much, or you're going to have to decrease your calories, you know, and increase your workout to lose weight. So with a plant-based diet, you don't necessarily have to count calories to see you go down on the scale. You just, you know, because basically you're not really eating too many calories. Vegetables doesn't carry, some vegetables have 0 or negative calories, like celery, because it takes so much energy to chew it, or, you know, to digest the celery, but it also helps, you know, break down other foods like salad and, you know, roughage, or they call it roughage, and lettuce and things like that actually help you digest other food, and collard greens and things like that. So, you know, some of these foods can have negative calories, but some of the vitamins I use, and none of these things that are in my video, Michigan State or Planet Fitness or any of the people I name, have anything to do with my cut. Alright, I'm going to be blunt. I need this video to go viral because we need to save lives. All the mess goes viral, all the junk. So let's make this go viral. Save some lives. Let's get some knowledge into our people, kings and queens. Alright. If you want information on plant-based diets, how to get started, how to actually get in the mode and the lifestyle of eating a plant-based diet, go to my video on plant-based diets for beginners. got everything out and you enjoyed the video, please, like I said, like and share the video, and you know, check me out Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, and invite somebody to come watch. This is Kalani, and I'm out. Thank you. Bye.